This was one of the fresh games of the week. Now let's move on to the next set of fresh games of the week. Kicking it off with Hands of War 2 Expanded Edition.
Is it expanded?
That's what it says here in the title. Expanded Edition.
Repeated edition.
Cloned edition, actually. With more fat.
He kind of says he added new stuff, but I couldn't get myself to play it.
Also, the Hands of War 2, which we've played, was basically a clone of Hands of War 1 with very few additions. And this one promises a bunch of additions, but would you really play the same game over again just for the extra content? I wouldn't.
I really liked Hands of War 1. I really got into that, but you can't just repeat a game and release it again. Yeah, it just gets, repeating it over and over again just gets old. Just like a ragdoll cannon.
It's kind of fishy how do you do that? Like, hey, I haven't released anything in a long time. I'll just change the graphics a little bit and make a new thing. I guess ragdoll cannon, they made levels, so that's kind of a challenge. But technically, it's the same game.
Also, it's weird how Hands of War 2 got such a good rating, because it's the second place on the Fresh Games of the Week.
Well, the thing is, it's still good, because if there is a good game, it's still going to be good 2 years later. But so people don't trade down because they played it again. I think it's the same way with Cursed Treasure, the 6th level pack.
Yeah, I think developers get a bit lazy, and if they've had success, they kind of don't want to adventure out. Well, some of them at least. Some of them don't want to adventure out, and they'll just rehash on that success and bleed every dollar out of it.
It's kind of a difference to console or PC games where you really can't release the same game again because nobody's going to buy it. But here it seems like everyone gets fooled by this thing. I don't know why.
Right, let's move on to the next fresh game of the week. Well, actually, we've already talked about The Eye of It and Elements of Arcandia, so we're just going to skip over to Alienacalypse.
Oh, this is like the Zerg thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they fix anything about it in the... Well, okay, first time, I was under the impression that they didn't even play the game, because from the gameplay perspective, it's horrible. Did they make any updates to it or something like that?
I haven't played it since I finished it.
Oh, you finished it?
Yeah, I did eventually finish it. Yeah. It's a really strange game sort of thing. After you beat every level, you kind of just sit there and watch your units slowly kill the buildings. And it's, while you wait, you have these little molecules you have to collect for some reason, and you're just wondering why. And I think it's just basically just so you can wait.
Yeah. Things kill the people, then they go on killing the buildings. And I tried letting it run another tab, but I think kind of Flash pauses it or something, makes it run slower, because it never ends in another tab. It never ends actually when you look at it either, but still. And another thing about the gameplay is that you can finish the whole game with only one type of creature when you actually have a lot. And
just use flying units.
And just maximize that. And you can't even just use non-flying units because they don't attack the helicopters and you just lose. You have to use flying. And once you use them, you're like, why use something else?
Exactly.
You don't have any disadvantage. Yeah.
Moving on to what game then? Let's talk about that puzzle game. This is basically a corridor puzzle game. You basically control a character on a platform, and you have to move from one side to the other.
Yeah, basically you can. It's a platform, and the trick is you can warp from one side of the screen to the other. That's about it.
Yeah.
It's got a good set of levels, and I played through the first 10 of them, and they were quite nice, but not too challenging.
It's pretty easy for the most part, but the last level 28 and level 29 are quite challenging. Yeah, you take a fair few retries to get those finished. And I think if there was a fair few more of those levels, it would have been really good. But there was only a couple in there that were challenging.
I think they really put a great deal of effort into integrating this user-created levels stuff. So maybe he just thought that people could make the harder levels themselves and play it, because I think it's a central part of the game somehow. Didn't really play it that much, but it seems to be kind of there.
It's a pity though that user-created levels don't really get promoted that much as the game itself. Because if they could be maybe if even the game itself pushed the user-created levels more, they would be.
Yeah, the problem is you can't really push it, because the first time someone plays the game, they have to play some levels. They're not, you need the content, and then you can push it. So
Well, this concludes the fresh games of the week section. And we're going to move to A Link to the Past, where Robbie's going to talk about his favorite game on Kongregate.
Oh, come on. I gotta specify this. Last time he said that he only rates games with a 5-star if they are absolutely excellent and perfect. And actually, he only rated one single game with 5 stars.
So tell us about your rating policy first.
Okay, so usually I'll rate games. Sort of three out of 5 is what I rate most games. If they're decent games, which most games with badges, they're pretty decent on the most part. If a game really frustrates me for like the wrong reasons, like if it's got a really annoying element of like the controls are just weird, or there's bugs, or there's just bad design, I'll sort of delve into 2 out of 5, or if I'm really angry, I'll give it 1 out of 5. But usually that's pretty rare. I'll give like my favorite games on Kongregate 4 out of 5. So I've got about 20 favorites on my profile, which you could probably just look at it. My profile is Yottabyte, by the way. I don't think we've said that yet.
I'll put it in the show notes.
Okay, and so I've only given one really 5 out of 5, which is Mardek. I really like Mardek. I like the fact that Pseudo Lone Wolf he's done everything. He's done the art, he's done the programming, he's done the music. He's just made it all, and he's made this really comprehensive RPG game. It's got like pixelated 8-bit graphics like the old Final Fantasy games, and it has the Final Fantasy gameplay as well, which I'm a big fan of. And to fully go through the whole Mardek series, my save file is something like over 50 hours of gameplay. So it's really comprehensive game. It's just one of the most comprehensive Flash games I can think of. I think it's of console quality. You could easily release this. I'll just break down the story. To start off with, in Mardek 1, you're this schoolboy in a fantasy, usual fantasy RPG world setting with your friend, and alien lands on your planet and dies in a spaceship. But he keeps himself alive by consuming, or not consuming you, but consuming you in the sense that he enters your body and sort of, he doesn't take over your body but shares it with you. And
that sounds kinky.
Yeah. So his alien friends who are on in a different realm sort of come to your planet and try to kill him and take over the world, sort of thing. So you end up becoming this warrior which has immense healing power with your alien buddy inside of you. And you sort of just journey with, I think Mardek 3 has 8 or 9 playable different characters that can join your party.
Wow.
And I really love it. I think it's great. I like Pseudo Lone Wolf's sense of humor as well, so I really enjoy. There's a lot of dialogue in this game, which I think is probably even the main reason why it's not up there with the highest of high-rated games on Kongregate. But I enjoy the dialogue, but I can understand people finding it a bit too laborious, just like we said with RPG shooter Star Wish. But I think the dialogue's much better, and then Star Wish much better.
First of all, so that people can get how comprehensive this game actually is, you said that you played it for 58 hours. How much time did you spend finishing Epic Battle Fantasy 3?
Okay, yeah, Epic Battle Fantasy is another very comprehensive RPG game, but it doesn't have dialogue or anything like that, and it doesn't have as thorough as gameplay as Mardek. I think my save game on Epic Battle Fantasy was around about half, 25 hours or so, something like that.
So you can kind of get the idea how long this game actually is.
Yeah, I think it's actually on a totally different level than Flash games. He should really consider releasing a console version or some sort of downloadable thing on the, because people who play Flash games don't usually invest that much time on it. They just play it and they let it go. And this is kind of, I think it's thought of as a long-term experience.
Yeah. Mardek 3 also took a very long time to develop. I think I think I don't know of any other Flash games that took as long to make. I think it was 3 years to make Marduk, and followers of Pseudolone would go to his website and it would just be delayed time after time after time, because I think purely he just put too much into it and just kept on adding stuff into it. It could have easily been broken up into more episodes, I suppose.
Oh, yeah.
And in the end, it got so big, none of the sponsors would take it because it's 22 megabytes, which is insanely big for a Flash game. And he only ended up getting, something like $3,000 sponsorship money for this game, which was probably a huge financial failure for him.
Probably disappointing too, right? Not such a
Yeah.
great game. But maybe there's a future for it.
There could be.
Still.
If he releases it to the consoles on maybe Xbox Live or PSN.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
This was dynamic.
yeah, it didn't really feel that awkward.
Yeah, it was okay.
All right,
Yeah.
so I guess we're wrapping it up here. Thank you, Yottabyte, for joining us.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Promise we won't make you repeat it every time.
I
That's
guess
okay.
we've got the setup down now, and we can use it in further podcasts. All right.
Yeah,
Thank you for listening, and maybe we'll see you on the forums. Maybe you'll write to us and get on the show like Yottabyte did.
Yeah, do that, because that's good. See ya.
Bye.
See you guys. All right, ready?
Yep.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
I don't know really.
and I think if there was a
To
Yeah, the thing
Yeah.
here is that okay, go.
my dreams.